Offlane treant is not something new to Dota, albeit it is a little rare to be seen, especially in this meta of Beastmasters, Enigmas, and pushing heroes in general. Yet Brax is spamming this hero and never losing with it. More confusing than the hero being picked so often by Brax is how the hero seemingly loses every laning stage, yet doesn't drop a single game. The truth is that there is a lot to unpack here, since when I started watching the replays, I couldn't really understand what was happening. People think that treant is good because he has living armor, and yeah, in a meta of pushing heroes, preventing towers from falling is good. And while it's true that the mid tier 1 tower hardly fell when Brax played treant, there is much more to this hero than this. The first thing I think is worth talking about is Nature's Guise. The fact that it increases your self-regen and heal by 40% is crazy. Your selves are now worth 550 HP, your tangos heal for more, and that makes his laning stage and sustaining the mid game super easy. The reason I think treant offlane is broken is his ult actually. Crazy to say that, right? Cause it was a meme for a long time that overgrowth was terrible. Read the skill though. It deals 225 damage at level 1, the cooldown is 100 seconds. Now let's compare it to Ravage. The stun duration is lower than overgrowth. The damage is worse, the cooldown is 50% longer. The stun doesn't happen all at once, so you can blink, you can react to it.
He catches everyone! Oh, this could be a total disaster! Vacuum in! Ravage on everyone! The black hole as well! Light of heaven turns it around! Ravage as well! Stop.
And if that was not enough, treant has a super sneaky way to approach people and cast the spell, and after level 10, he can also do that invisible. This means that consistently and reliably, treant can kill all of the mobile broken heroes of the patch. Quap, Storm, Ember, Void Spirit, Clinks, you name it. He finds them and he reliably kills them because fighting under tower is always better for the defending team. If that was not enough, because the cooldown of overgrowth is so low, treant can constantly defend towers not only with his living armor, but by showing up and making hitting the tower super hard because his Nature's Grasp is annoying as hell. Placing sentries deep under towers is hard since the towers themselves have true sight, and so a very important part of playing Brax's offlane treant is to defend buildings, especially the mid tier 1 tower. But let's get back to the laning stage and understand exactly how he plays the hero. The starting item build once again has our special beautiful Sage's Mask, and the item he builds with it is Necronomicon. We'll get to why he builds the item, but it's no surprise to anyone mana regen is good on this hero. One benefit that Tree has over other melee offlaners is that his base damage is so high that Quelling Blade is not really needed on him, so instead, Brax gets this opener in almost every game. 1 Tango, 2 Branches, Ring of Protection, and Sage's Mask. You have so much raw HP and almost every carry hero is so focused on physical damage nowadays that the item makes sense on 99% of all matchups. Now, let's take a look on how he plays his first wave. Against range cores, what Brax constantly did was place his Nature's Grasp in the entire creep wave. This pushes the lane and makes those heroes miss CS and take a lot of damage since their base damage is awful and they're going to be tanking creeps. Remember though to always place your Nature's Grasp in a way that a tree touches it since it deals 50% more damage in that case. Because the wave pushed, it also bounces back further, allowing Brax to have a better time later down the line. In general, Leech Seed is the spell Brax learns versus melee heroes since the spell allows you to trade versus the heroes you're not afraid, like Terrorblade, and to run and disengage from the Ursus and Slarks. While you do fear him when Metamorphosis is used, you can trade really well with the spell, especially when you have a pushing creep wave like this, which is usually the case for your hero, since Nature's Grasp does a lot of AoE damage. Even though Ursa is a hero you fear, at level 1 with Leech Seed, he is in no way capable to hurt you when you trade well. In this scene, Brax tries to use Leech Seed to secure a range creep, but because he was not low enough, he just zones Dire. Note that the AoE of Leech Seed is ridiculous, and even Jakiro gets hit by it. The lesson to learn here is that almost no hero wants to trade against you at level 1, even those you fear as they get more levels. Against heroes you're not at all afraid to trade and you have a good lane support, your best course of action most of the time is to deny your range creep since you have the base damage advantage, to then, as you go for theirs, pop Leech Seed. The enemy is now forced to take damage and probably not prevent you from farming the range creep because you have a lot of damage, or they're going to be forced to run away, but you have a huge AoE on the spell anyways. In that same clip, we can also see the beauty that is Nature's Guys. The Tango region becomes 13.6 instead of 9.7. So during idle times or when you're afraid to move to the creep wave, use that ability to get back into fighting form. Why is this hero good though if I just said that he loses most lanes and almost every great offlane in this patch is a lane dominator or a hero that pushes from very early into the game? Part of why the hero is great is that he can live in armor towers, and so the enemy team loses a ton of extra time grouping up to take them down, which means less farming for them. But that's just a small part of what the hero offers. By the way, just so you know, avoid glyphing towers with living armor on, you're wasting the extra armor if you do. Glyph before or after the use, please. Anyways, answering my question, is not only that your living armor protects towers, Nature's Grasp also dissuades melee heroes from touching a creep wave, and even when it doesn't, the fact that you can reliably push creep waves all the time, even against bad matchups, means that the matchup is actually not bad. The reason bad matchups are problematic to a game is that you have to eventually leave a lane, or just die constantly, or drag creeps but still risk dying to farm your creeps. But even at 8 minutes here, he can deal with Ursa without the help of a support, and that is very hard for melee offlaners to do. Another reason Treant is so powerful is his ability to defend the mid tower. Yeah, living armor is part of it, but because you can TP and walk through the trees in angles and places the enemy has no idea of, you're completely unique in how you can engage in fights. As I said earlier, it's not only that Overgrowth is better than a spell like Ravage in almost every metric, but it is the fact that you can cast it from places Tidehunter will never be able to without a mobility item, and since the cooldown is low, you want to use it because killing 1 or 2 heroes means you buy a minute, maybe 2, and that's your tower healing, and you're pretty much just wasting the enemy's time. Once level 10 comes and your Necro is up, you can now force good trades all the time. The enemy cannot ever heal their towers, so when they are committed for the mid push, Brax will deploy his Necros in the offlane and run mid or TP mid to defend. In case someone shows up in the Necronomicon lane, this means they're not taking mid and that you can probably fight there easily. And that's really the problem with this hero. Yes, you can play passively versus it, but if you do not take towers as you play passively, the enemy farms just as fast because they still have their map control, but their buildings are never falling and yours are. The build Brax went for every single game was Necro, Trankos, Wand, into Greaves, and it is not a surprise why. Because of Nature's Guys, you never have to go back to base with Trankos since the HP regen becomes insane, and as we already talked about, Necronomicon serves the purpose of giving you laning stage mana regen, while at the same time giving your hero map pressure to push waves while you defend towers. This hero, at the end of the day, wants to be able to defend towers and win fights around it. Greaves is the cheapest, most versatile item that gives everyone a boost in those fights, but also it's an item that heals you for 420 HP, which synergizes greatly with your hero since you are a tree, and gives you a dispel so that you can reliably cast your spells in most fights. A great example of this ability to defend buildings is this game Brax played versus a carry Leshrac, offlane Lycan, and mid Lone Druid. The pushing power of that team is out of this world, and on top of that, he had a pretty bad laning stage, being 0 and 3 at 10 minutes, but just watch what this hero is capable of doing. When Radiant starts threatening the top tier 2 tower, he quickly addresses that with a TP to defend it, and Radiant already doesn't feel comfortable being there because whenever Overgrowth is up, a hero is bound to die. It's just that scary of an ability. Later on, Lycan approaches him, but by using a grey TP to the top tier 2 tower, Lycan thinks he can push without his interference and just gets debated. The same story keeps repeating itself in that game. Brax stays stopped to push the lane with his Necros, and Nature's Grasp while he heals mid with living armor, and whenever Radiant attempted to go there, he just TP to scare them off, and it is just really hard to fight versus this hero. This is the only game Brax lost a tier 1 mid tower of 7 games. As he TPs in the mid tier 2 to try and address the push from Dire, his mid and Shaker are dead, and so he gives up on trying to defend the tower. And that's important. Overall though, Brax will never let anything stop him from protecting the mid tower, and the fact he doesn't engage is very important. Think about it, pushing versus Treant has a ton of inherent risk, and they only are able to do it here because 2 heroes died. In the event Treant is dead, you then really want to push because no living armor makes their life much easier. There is a fine but important to notice line with fighting with this hero. As long as you can defend your tower and fight, you should go for it, but once 2 heroes are dead, then you risk losing much more than 1 tower against good opponents. because if you die fighting, they will go for another tower. Even in this game though, because treant is so good at fighting, they smoke and a super long fight happens. Thanks to the fast cooldowns and the team fight items, Brax is able to keep his friends alive. The talents Brax chooses are always the same. Invis at 10, Living Armor Heal at 15, and the cooldown reduction at 20. As we already talked about, Overgrowth is a crazy good spell, and all of his other spells, and almost every item has low cooldowns, making the talent a great addition to your hero.
I'm so... Oh my god, I'm so fucking unlucky!
Do you feel like this playing Dota sometimes? Losing can be really frustrating, especially when you are to blame. What if there was a way to pick heroes and playstyles so good and so fresh in the meta that no one can counter you? Follow my weekly easy MMR meta guide on Patreon to start abusing strategies I'm yet to make a guide of. By selecting this Patreon tier, you will have access to the freshest ideas I'm yet to make a video of, or ideas that are really good but I don't think make a good video but are still important. This will give you an edge versus any player in your brackets. The meta guide is available every Thursday, and if you join before this Thursday, you will get the chance to vote on a hero you want a guide of. Guys, thank you a lot for watching, commenting, and subscribing. If you want a more premium experience than my weekly meta guide, you can DM me on Twitter to get all the information about my coaching. In case you just started playing Dota because of COVID-19 or because of the International Win Companion, make sure to join our Discord channel. There is a lot of cool people there, and in case you want to play with someone, maybe you don't really feel safe playing by yourself, I'm sure you can find people from all around the world to help you get better. Thank you all for watching, guys. Have a good one, and bye.